Hi legends, currently a lot of blood in the street. The world has turned bearish. More downwards momentum expected. Can this be true? Today, I'm going a little bit against the grain over here and share with you why I am still bullish even with this massive momentum here to the downside. Also, I'll share with you something that's happened for the first time in the history of Bitcoin. We'll go through a little bit of fundamental news and also go and look at the key levels that I'm currently watching, still expecting bullish momentum here to the upside. So stay tuned until the very end to not miss out on any alpha that I'm about to share. Remember, legends, the exchange that I'm currently using to do all of my trading is Bluffin. First link under exchanges, you'll see I've got Bluffin, no KYC required, and also you qualify for an insane 15% cash back for the money that you deposit into your features account. Let's go and analyze the price of Bitcoin together. Looking at the CME gap, and I'm on the 8-hour time frame, I just wanted to share this. For the first time in history, we have created the biggest CME gap since the start of Bitcoin. Also, for the first time in history, we have not filled the gap. So we created the gap here at around 15 June, and then we did not fill the gap and we opened up below this gap. So this entire gap here is still unfilled. And from a CME trading perspective, it increases the probabilities that we still need to come and close this double CME gap, also the largest CME gap in the history of Bitcoin. So potentially we could be very close to the bottom over here where we're going to come find upwards momentum and close the CME gap. The question is, are we going to come and fill the CME gap, make a lower high for continuation here to the downside? Or is the low in where we are here at the moment and we're going to find that impulsiveness back to the upside to continue the bull market that everyone is waiting for? Also, what I want to discuss here, legends, is, and I know I'm going against the grain over here. I can see everyone is bearish. Everyone is saying lower prices to come. But from a technical perspective, we have to just take stock of where we are. I'm on the daily time frame. And the one thing that I acknowledge is that when you take a fib from the low to the high, okay, you can see we have now tapped the 50% fib level for the first time, which is from a macro perspective. When you hit massive fib levels like this, you can expect a nice little bounce or recovery back to the upside. So we have hit the 50% fib level, and we also tapped the previous high over here to perfection, and now we're currently getting a little bit of reaction over here. So the other thing that I'm watching here is, legends, there was a massive amount, billions of dollars worth of liquidity below these lows. And when I go back here onto the liquidity heat map, you can now see, just make it visible for everyone, that we have finally grabbed all of this beautiful liquidity with this momentum here to the downside. $1.1 billion, $771 million, $1.23 billion. So billions worth of liquidity has now been grabbed. Also, when you look at the structure, and I'm on the daily time frame here on the price of Bitcoin, we have to acknowledge that we have made a low, we've made a high, we've made a higher low, we've made a higher high, higher low, higher high, and then if we find support here by the 50% fib level, again, the macro structure is still bullish. We have not lost the macro bullish structure here to the upside. We are still forming higher highs and higher lows with this momentum, even with this aggressive fall here to the downside. The macro structure is still bullish. Another thing I want to share over here, just take the scribble here out the way, is, and this is why I'm still against the grain over here. I know that everyone is calling for lower prices, but also from an Elliott wave perspective, what I'm still looking at over here is that the formation of a 1, 2, okay, 3, and this is a larger fourth wave here to the downside. Also, when I take a fib time and I go and measure the correction, how long it took this correction to take place over here, ideally what you would like to see is for the fourth wave to be the same length, if not a little bit longer, for continued momentum back to the upside. So if I go and measure this wave from the top of 1 to where it ended, and I go and place it on top of number 3 over here, you can see we are almost at the 1-to-1 ratio. So we could definitely still, I'm not saying that this pivot here is the low. All I'm saying is that we could be very close to the low over here, where this is still a 1, 2, 3, and this is the formation, still busy with a larger fourth wave here to the downside, and also we are very close to the 1-to-1 extension. So what could potentially play out here is that perhaps we consolidate, we grab the low once again, and then we start back with the momentum here to the upside. Also, we have to acknowledge that this range, okay, this is the bad news, that this range can still continue a little while longer. It is also known for fourth waves to even go as long as the 2 extension over here that will take us to mid-Jan next year. So not impossible for us to keep on ranging, even hit the 0.618 over here at $43,000 before we see a turnaround here back to the upside. But looking at the structure over here, legends, even when tapping the 0.618, the market structure is still bullish here to the upside. So I am not writing off any bullish scenarios just as yet. There is an extreme bearish scenario to the downside, which I'll share in my live stream again tonight. So make sure that you tune in, and I'll also go and dissect the corrective structure here in a little bit more detail to show you exactly where the bouncing levels are. Right. Also, just taking the time flip here out the way, just something that I want to share with everyone. If this is a larger A, B, C here to the downside, we can go and measure, well, where is the end of the corrective structure here to the downside? So taking a trend-based flip from the high to the low over here, to the high that we've just made over here, you can see that the 1-to-1 ratio here is a common C-wave target, and this is where the price is consolidating at the moment. We have also tapped the 1.236. I know it's a little bit, just zoom in there, the 1.236, which is also a common C-wave target, and we have tapped it to perfection. So the 1-to-1 ratio and the 1.236 has been tapped to perfection, which could be the end of the corrective structure here to the downside. But it's not to say that we can't go and grab that low once more, okay, and also come here to the 1.618 and the 0.618 at $43,000, give or take. So legends, what I'm trying to highlight over here is that the low could already be in, or it's going to be in soon, but the bullish structure is still intact to expect momentum here to the upside. And usually for me personally, no financial advice, when I see a lot of fear in the street and I see the fear and greed index has also gone down lower, that is usually for me a great time to start adding to my spot bags. Thanks for watching. Later during my live stream, I'll also share a couple of altcoins that still look bullish even with this bloodbath that we find ourselves in. Like the video if you enjoyed the content, subscribe for future notifications, and until the next one, cheers for now.